Hey guys, welcome to the Casuals MMA. I'm Carlos. This is Alec. We'll be giving our takes on UFC Vegas 24 coming up this Saturday, the main event with Robert Whittaker versus Kelvin Gastelum.
All right, UFC Vegas 24, Robert Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles, the Reaper versus Calvin Gastelum. Robert Whittaker has done so much in the middleweight division. I think people tend to forget he had a 4-year, 9-fight winning streak. He had some TKOs and knockouts against Derek Brunson, Jacare Souza. He had some good decision wins over Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, which he kind of he showed us, or at least Jared Cannonier, that there's levels to this. A lot of people were afraid to face Cannonier, and Robert Whittaker said, "I'll take that fight." I was a former champion, and he proved it. He still got it. His stand up was much more crisp, amazing head movement, and it showed that he still is a championship. He can still fight championship level. Also, I just want to throw this out there: he's beating Yoel Romero twice. Not once, but twice. Who in UFC can say he's beating Yoel Romero twice? Not many people. So I'm not saying Kelvin Gastelum isn't a good fighter. He's had an absolute war against Izzy, and he's had his moments. But also, forget it was the Jack Hermanson fight. He lost first round. I think I was making a drink, and I turned my head, and he's already submitted first round. He got submitted by Chris Weidman. But he's starting to fight a little more technically, a little more smarter. So, and he still has power. I remember the Bisping fight. What a knockout against Bisping. So it's not to say Kevin Gastelum can't fight, but not only do I think Robert Whittaker is going to win, the Vegas odd makers think so too. Robert Whittaker is a favorite, 265 for your casuals out there. If you want to win just $100, if you want to bet some money, you have to put $265 just to win 100 if you're going for Whittaker. Calvin is a plus 210, so that's a huge, underdog in the the Vegas books. So I think it'll be an interesting fight, but given the level of competition Robert Whittaker has faced and just his experience alone, it speaks for himself. He's done some amazing, great things. His focus is obviously towards the Gastelum fight, but he is all set to have that rematch with Izzy, and I don't think anything's going to stop him. I have this round 3 TKO Robert Whittaker.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good take. I also agree that I think Robert Whittaker is going to take this fight. I honestly think, though, with Robert Whittaker, so he's on a 2-fight win streak, right? His last loss was against Izzy. You mentioned, the very impressive win streak before the Izzy fight. Robert Whittaker has only lost one fight since his start in middleweight, right? And that was to Izzy, to the champ. Since then, I mean, he's decisively won against every middleweight he's faced. He's a very dominant fighter. Like you said, he's got a lot of tools. His stand-up is crisp. His distance management is crisp. It just kind of went by the wayside when he faced Izzy, whether that was affected by, previous wars with Yoel Romero, which, I mean, if you go 10 rounds with Yoel Romero the way that he did, there's not many people on this earth that would still be walking after that. But the fact that he not only did that, but beat him twice, is just a testament to the heart of a champion that he has. And, the same respect to Kelvin Gastelum. Izzy fight with him was, in my opinion, one of the best championship fights that I've ever witnessed. Extremely back and forth. He just kind of threw caution to the wind and went after that championship. Unfortunately, it didn't work in his favor, but you can't win them all. It doesn't always go your way. The only thing I have against Kelvin Gastelum, though, is, he is kind of reeling. He did win his last fight against Ian Heinisch. Even at that, though, it was kind of a close fight. The 2 losses previous to that, he lost a close fight to Till, and he got submitted by Hermanson. One thing I've seen from Kelvin after the Izzy fight is he seems a lot more gun shy. He just doesn't seem to go for it anymore. I don't know if it's because he's obviously, I would assume it's from the effect of him getting dropped. What was it? A record 4 times in the championship fight against Izzy.
Yeah, he took some beatings.
So I'm sure, after that fight, he went back to the drawing board and said, hey, look, I can't just leave it all out there against these, long, lanky middleweight guys who, let's be honest, are much more bigger than Kelvin is. Kelvin, he's middleweight and that he's good in that class, that weight class. But it's kind of constantly been a point of contention with him that maybe if he had changed up his workout regimen or diet, that he could possibly, fight at welterweight. But at the end of the day, a fighter fights where he's comfortable. But like I said, he does face that adversity with fighting opponents who have longer reaches, who are taller, who are bigger in weight. So I do agree with the Robert Whittaker taking this fight. But I do feel like with Kelvin's game plan from the last three fights, obviously for the exception of the Hermanson fight, I feel like he's a lot more technical. He's a lot also really relying on managing distance, constantly jogging around the cage, picking his shots. I'm not sure if he throws caution to the wind enough to be able to be knocked out by Whittaker. Because on top of that, Kelvin's got a chin. I mean, he went down 4 times against Izzy, but he never quit.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get a TKO. He didn't get knocked out. So it's hard to put away this man unless you submit him like Hermanson did. I believe this will be a 5-round fight, 5-round decision to Robert Whittaker, but it will be, in my opinion, unanimous.
All right.
So on top of that, I believe whoever wins this, or more so Robert, if he were to win this fight, next step is their title shot. For Kelvin, though, based on his last 2 losses and his last win, I believe he would have to win in spectacular fashion to be considered for a title shot at the moment. Now you got a lot of people in the mix.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have.
You have Robert. You have, well, on top of Robert, right? If he does beat him, you have himself. You have Martin Vittori. You have even surprisingly Derek Brunson, who is coming up in the rankings now. He's on a impressive win streak as well. So I believe it's not a straightaway title fight or title shot, excuse me, if he beats Robert. It's just in the form or in which way he wins, possibly get him that rematch to Izzy. But I think no matter what, how Robert wins, if he does, he gets the rematch with Izzy. And that's the next fight after this, which is what I think will happen. I think Whittaker will be technical, just as technical as Kelvin. Got the bigger reach. He edges out the victory in the 5 rounds, unanimous. So that's our takes on the fight for what Robert Whittaker and Kelvin Gastelum. Let us know how you feel. What do you think the result will be in the comment section below? And if you like this sort of content, hey, if you can like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. Also, if you want to follow us on our social media accounts, our DMs are open. You can contact us, tell us, what kind of content you're interested in and what pertains to, MMA, UFC, or just combat sports in general. We really want to cover and talk about a lot of fights coming up, not just in the UFC, but in other promotions as well, and also in boxing. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.